Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat siang dari Jerman, selamat sore untuk teman-teman yang join dari Indonesia, dan ya, selamat hari Sabtu untuk teman-teman yang join dari negara lain juga. Selamat datang di summit kita kedua hari ini yang berjudul ACE Interviews in Germany, Answer Smart, Get Hired, yang merupakan bagian dari rangkaian proker kita, Step Up Mentorship 4.0 dari PPI Jerman. Terima kasih banget untuk teman-teman semuanya ya, para menti, para mentor, speakers, dan buddy yang udah bisa hadir, meluangkan waktunya hari ini, dan ikut menyukseskan acara kita. Makasih banget. Semoga acara kita kali ini bakal ngasih kalian banyak insight yang baru, interesting, ilmunya daging, dan yang paling penting kita semuanya bisa enjoy gitu. Oh ya, kenalin dulu pertama-tama nama aku Naira. Aku staf PPI Jerman dari Departemen Pengembangan Diri dan Karir yang bakal nemenin kalian hari ini jadi moderator. Em, dan ya, salam kenal semuanya. Sebelum kita mulai, aku mau ada housekeeping singkat aja. Yang pertama, seperti biasa, teman-teman tolong mikrofonnya untuk di-mute selama acaranya berlangsung biar kondusif. Dan yang kedua nih, kalau misalnya teman-teman ada pertanyaan, boleh banget langsung ditulis di Slido. Itu linknya kayaknya udah ada di chat ya. Di Linktree, di situ ada link. Kalian bisa buka, dalamnya ada link lagi, tulisannya Q&A Summit. Kalian bisa tulis aja pertanyaannya selama sesinya berlangsung. Dan kalau yang nggak punya pertanyaan pun bisa juga sambil lihat-lihat pertanyaan orang lain, sambil upvote, karena nanti pas sesi tanya jawab kita bisa langsung bahas yang punya upvote paling banyak. Begitu. Dan aku sebelum masuk ke rangkaian acaranya nih, aku mau mempersilahkan Kak Angeline Thomas atau Angie sebagai Ketua Departemen Pengembangan Diri dan Karir untuk ngasih sedikit hinwise lagi untuk acara kita. Silakan Kak Angie.
Oke, thank you Naira. Mungkin sebelumnya terima kasih Kak Ray dan Naira udah bersedia hadir hari ini dan meluangkan waktunya untuk nge-sharing di Summit 2 ini gitu kan. Thank you so much gitu. Terus itu untuk para menti mungkin ada sedikit informasi yang dimana banyak banget nih yang ngechat aku gitu kan. Kak gimana ya gitu kan. Mungkin sedikit perhatiannya aku mau sharing beberapa, cuman dua informasi kok gitu kan. Yang pertama terkait sesi one on one, aku harap Menti dapat membooking sesi tersebut secara apa ya, kebutuhan sesuai kebutuhan. Jika emang berhalangan untuk hadir atau mau cancel booking mentoringnya, boleh banget dikabarkan kepada mentornya yang dimana kalian mendapatkan email konfirmasi dan di sana tuh ada email dari mentornya dan kalian bisa menghubungi mentornya melalui email gitu. Jadi kalau bisa tuh sehari atau 2 hari sebelumnya sudah dikomunikasikan kepada mentornya, Kak saya berhalangan hadir, jadi mohon saya cancel, ataupun kalian mau on the day mau one on one juga. Nah, kalian juga boleh banget ngelakuin hal yang sama sehari sebelumnya sudah mengkonfirmasi kepada mentornya karena mungkin mentornya juga sibuk dengan kerjaan gitu kan. Mungkin kadang-kadang lupa oh ada yang ngebooking sesi one on one-nya gitu. Terus itu yang kedua untuk grup mentoring, kalau bisa itu para menti diharapkan untuk tetap bersama pada grupnya dan jika ingin ada perubahan atau sesuatu itu, mohon maaf, kami sudah tidak dapat mengubahnya lagi karena kami sudah juga kurasi dari awal, mencocokkan mentinya terhadap mentornya dan juga disesuaikan dengan sektor industri yang kalian pilih gitu. Mohon untuk tidak memasuki grup lain tanpa sepengetahuan dari panitia SUM 4.0. So, itu saja dari saya. Mungkin saya balik ke Naira ya untuk dilanjutkan. Gitu.
Ya, makasih banyak Angie buat informasinya.
Sama-sama.
Ya, dan ya, makasih juga sebelumnya nih untuk Kak Aldo yang udah bersedia sharing bareng kita hari ini. Eh, sedikit info ya. Aku mungkin bakal intro dikit Kak Aldo ini siapa sih sebenarnya? Kak Aldo atau Kak Reynaldo Gunawan itu dia adalah engineer dan sekaligus burnout prevention coach yang bisa bantu orang-orang menjalani kehidupan kerja dan private dengan lebih banyak clarity dan confidence ya. Aku sangat bersemangat banget untuk mendengar sharingnya hari ini. Oke, dan sedikit info juga untuk sesi sharing dari Kak Aldo bakal berlangsung selama 30 menit. Setelah itu kita bakal langsung lanjut sesi tanya jawab 15 menit ya. Kalau gitu, sebelumnya kita bakal ada sesi foto bersama dulu ya, sepertinya Warren.
Yap,
Atau
benar.
ya,
Mungkin
Jadi,
teman-teman boleh banget on
boleh.
cam sebentar untuk dokumentasi sedikit gitu kan.
Iya, coba. Nah, aku udah lihat banyak yang on cam nih.
Yes.
Sudah siap?
Oke, mungkin boleh
yap,
aba-abanya ya, Waran ya.
Yap,
oke. Untuk foto, cuma butuh satu kali aja. Oleh karena itu, akan saya countdown ya.
yap.
Oke, siap semua? Tiga, dua, satu. Oke, thank you semua. Sudah selesai.
Oke, kalau gitu kita tanpa berlama-lama lagi, kita bisa langsung mulai aja ya kepada Kak Aldo. Waktu dan layar aku persilahkan. Ditunggu sharingnya Kak, dan ya, the stage is yours. Silakan Kak.
Thank you, Naira. Oke, semuanya udah bisa lihat the one that I share kan? Very good. Oke, langsung mulai pertanyaan. Aku mau nanya ke kalian, why do interviews make even capable people nervous? What do you think? Karena kebanyakan yang aku tahu itu bukan karena kita unqualified ya. Itu lebih ke arah di bagaimana kita melihat interview. And kebanyakan kita, we think that one wrong answer itu can ruin the whole interview. So again, my name is Reynaldo, panggilan Aldo. Tadi yang kayak Naila udah bilang, I'm an engineer and a burnout prevention coach. Tadi kalau misalnya belum ada yang denger, awal-awal I've been here in Germany udah lebih dari 11 tahun. Studied mechatronics, automation engineering di Hamburg. Terus udah kerja 5 tahun di bidang robotics. And today I work in application development, and I help people approach work and life with more clarity and confidence. Jadi bisa dibilang I understand dua sisi ya, kayak where the technical perspectives di mana competence and skill matters kalau misalnya kita mau apply for jobs, and I also understand the human side di mana pressure, confidence, and communication. My gosh, communication, you will see. Itu bisa show can decide how we show up. And tadi ada udah beberapa yang ngasih tahu kalian lagi di mana kan. Kayak I wanna ask you again to if you can put in the chat lagi di mana, dari mana. Soalnya tadi ada Munster, ada dari Jogja juga. It's gonna be very interesting untuk tahu kalian-kalian ini yang ada di sini. Ada di mana aja. I have the chat right over here, so please do use the chat. Nice, Potsdam, Heilbronn, Mannheim, Karlsruhe, Augsburg, Gießen. Oke, Dresden. Nah, I know Dresden. My boss is in Dresden. Terus, ya, it's very nice, very nice. Semuanya mayoritas di Jerman. Ada yang dari Indo juga. I know there's one in Indo. And you are all here on a Saturday afternoon in German time. Ada di Indo malam minggu. Don't you have anything better to do? I mean, yeah, the thing is, you're investing your most precious time, which is, well, your most precious resource, which is your time, right? And I don't take this lightly, to be honest. And so, aku mungkin mau berterima kasih lagi for trusting me, for trusting PPIJ, Departemen Pengembangan Diri, and IPA Germany, that you are here. And I also want to encourage all of you to participate fully and use this space use the chat nanti kalau misalnya to share your thoughts, share just like you did with your kalian dari mana, use the chat to share your thoughts, use Slido kalau misalnya mau ada pertanyaan. And let me tell you, when you share, you're actually helping others yang mungkin masih malu untuk type, untuk on cam, for example, and yang dan mereka juga punya pemikiran yang sama. So I assure there is no wrong answer, there is no wrong question. Eh, aku udah lama nggak di Indo ya, tapi aku masih ingat pepatah yang kalau misalnya bilang yang malu bertanya sesat di jalan, right? So go wild. Don't hold anything back. We're going to have some fun. We're going to learn a lot. So I want you to use the chat and I want to ask you the question, is it okay for you if we're going to have some fun? Type one, number one, in the chat if you're okay with it. All right. All right. Very nice. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, 11111. So we have a lot to cover. So let's get on to it. How to ace interview. Big question. Kenapa interviews itu menakutkan? What do you think? Now, banyak orang yang tahu lah gimana rasanya kalau misalnya udah duduk di depan interviewers, terus ngerasa kayak, I cannot ruin this. I have to answer everything perfectly sesuai yang aku udah persiapkan. And that thing itu ngebuat kita feel like one wrong can ruin the whole interview. It's like, and that's only true if you believe that interview is only a test. And kalau misalnya kita udah ngeliat it's a test, itu we feel scared, of course. And jadi become nerve working, and that makes sense. It's like humanly, we're all human here. Jadi pasti kayak gitu. And when you get too focused on sounding perfect, you stop being clear, being curious, and being human. Nah, ada yang terus di chat juga, and I love that you engage in this thing. So that's true. Karena interview itu scary per se, kayak kadang perfectionist karena we want to show the best version of ourselves. That's true. And most of the times when we try to be perfect, again, we stop being clear. We stop being curious. We stop being having those kind of humanly conversations. So the first thing we need is a better definition of what interview actually is. So now let me ask you a question. And I want you to please use the chat for this. What is an interview? How do you define interview really? Use the chat because I will need this in the next slide. So, how do you define interview? Because how you define it, it determines how you show up in it. Now, sambil kalian nulis, I want to also explain what we're going to do today. Jadi yang pertama kita bakal redefine interview. That's what we're gonna do first. Yang kedua, kita wanna find out apa sih yang interviewers itu cari dari kita. Yang ketiga is how to prepare. This is basically the blueprints, the recipe atau checklist per se yang kalian bisa pakai dan lakuin setiap kali untuk prepare for an interview. And keempat, this is gonna be very interesting by the way. It's basically how to handle the interview itself, which we will do a short demonstration as well later on. Now, going back to my question. How do you define interview? Okay, let me see in the chat. Tadi ada bilang
Udah banyak ya.
competition. Yes, a fit test. Ooh, yes. It things because we really dream to pass the interview. Jadi kayak emang karena mau banget diinterogasi. Interogasi. Yes, definitely diinterogasi. And I like what William says, and we'll get back to that. Jadi the better question you want to ask yourself itu lebih when you think of interview, kalian ngelihatnya sebagai tes atau conversation, right? And banyak orang approach it like an exam, and right? We know, it's interrogasi. It's like a fit test. It's like an exam. And what I can tell you is that mindset itu buat kita passive. And not only passive, also reactive jadinya. I can explain later on what I mean by that. And there is a better way that we can define it for both, not only for us, but also for the whole process. Jadi, the first thing I want to share is that semua application documents yang kalian submit and send itu are meant to only get you the interview. The interview reveals you, the person behind the documents. Jadi benar mereka emang cek skills lah, ada requirements-nya. Every job description ada requirements. And yang kita sering kali lupa itu, they also checking how you think, how you communicate, whether they can work with you, kalian ngerti role-nya atau enggak. And so, I guess the best way to understand it is that a company itu basically a group of people trying to achieve something together, right? They have one goal. And because of that, they are not only hiring competence yang punya skill doang. They also want to hire people yang mereka tahu, I can work with this guy. Oh, I can trust this guy. So in a way, you're not the only one who is being evaluated. Technically, you are also evaluating them karena you're going to the company, you're going to the group of people. You want to know what they're like as well. I think I want to share a short story dari my interview that got me this job that I am in right now as application development. To be honest, when I saw the job description itu aku cuman kayak gila 50% aja mungkin enggak ya. I fulfill these requirements. And I still get onto the interview karena well I was invited, kenapa enggak, right? Opportunities. And what I did, aku cuma cari, oke, company-nya apa sih? Oke, ternyata company tentang electrical stuff and everything. And I'm in robotics. Aku robotics cuma electricalnya paling cuma beberapa persen. And this company is very electrotechnic stuff. Terus I look at the job description, ada yang ngerti, ada yang nggak juga. And so because at that moment aku juga nggak pernah punya banyak waktu, masih kerja full time, masih have other stuff to do. Aku nggak terlalu research as much as I usually do. Jadi aku those stuff yang definitions yang di job description yang aku nggak terlalu ngerti, I just let it be. Ya oke, ini mungkin aku bisa tanya nanti. So I approach the interview sebagai kayak oke, pas aku di interview aku juga mau tahu kalau misalnya I do these stuffs, kalau misalnya aku kerja, aku kontribusinya bisa apa? Aku kerjanya kayak gimana? So all of those questions I had in my mind as I was going into the interview, and what happened was it became a conversation. Now, let me ask you a question. How would your energy change if you approach interviews with curiosity instead of fear? Now, I want you to write this down. Your application documents get you the interview. The interview lets them meet the person behind the documents. So, next time kalau misalnya kalian mau apply on something, before you tell yourself, oh aku requirements-nya nggak memenuhi, before you actually eliminate yourself, just apply and let the interview do the work. Nah, this is actually a very interesting slide karena this slide itu actually relates to the summit number 1 kemarin yang dari Olga. Jadi first of all shout out to Olga for summit number 1. Siapa yang kemarin ada summit number 1 and learn a lot dari Olga? Maybe you can if you're that person, just write in the chat Olga, woo 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 or whatever. Just for all use emoji whatever. Anything you can do. Soalnya aku dengar banyak juga pertanyaan akhir-akhirnya Q&A, right? Jadi I think it's very informative. Dan juga dari summit number 1 sampai sekarang kalau nggak salah juga ada beberapa yang udah ada group mentor. And who has the best mentor? Put your hands up or put in the chat of your mentor name if you think you have the best mentor. Jadi really shout them out. They will be glad for you to actually appreciate them. Anyway, let's get back to what we want to talk about. I want to ask you a question now. What do you think interviewers are really looking for? Write down the chat. Apa yang kalian mikir interviewers itu nyari di kalian saat kalian udah kayak, be in an interview. Karena in my opinion, it's basically come down to these 4 questions. Tapi aku mau tahu juga kalian itu very nice. Can I work with them? Exactly. Jadi in my opinion, there are only 4 that is actually relevant, which is first, can I work? Can I do the job? Can I work with them? Competent partner in work they could rely on. Yeah. And that falls into the second one. Can they work with you? Nah, the shocking part, aku ngobrol sama Olga tentang ini ya. And she said, oh kalau aku tertariknya mereka kapan bisa mulai? Karena every company who opens a spot, mereka technically mau idealize orang yang bisa mulai besok. Jadi it's also part of can I work with you? Can I work with you now? Something like that. Dan kedua yang Olga bilang juga salary expectation is also part of it. Karena kalau misalnya itu di luar budget company, Olga mention ya kita nggak bakal lanjutin. So that's also goes to the can they work with you. So not only how you communicate, how you're a good team player, tapi juga ada sisi-sisi yang HR tertarik juga. Will they contribute to the team? That's perfect. Jadi that's all important. And there are 2 other things yang in my opinion, from my experience, itu juga give as much value. And the third one is the how do you behave under pressure? Karena 2 interview terakhir kali yang aku punya yang I thankfully got the job on both of them. Tapi yang satu aku harus deny it, reject it. Itu they ask me how I behave when there is a specific pressure in the project, terus kalau ada deadline and everything. And that's also very important because for them, skill matters, yes. And being someone people can work with and trust their work with, it too matters just as much. And so the last one that I want to share to you as well, young interviewers are looking for too, are you genuinely interested? And this is what we're going to go deep into as we go along this summit, how you can be genuinely interested in the job that you're applying. And now I want to give you like also a question. Kalau misalnya kalian udah ngelakuin interviews and then you actually work there, what do you think your employers remember more? Bagaimana kalian answer their questions perfectly? Atau bagaimana you make them feel about working with you? Soalnya juga banyak aku kenal, or maybe I'm asking the question, have you ever met someone yang kompeten banget, gila, ini orangnya pintar banget, kompeten, skillful, tapi masih susah untuk kerjasama, right? Pasti ada kan? And that's the reason. That's the reason. Been there. Yeah, me too. Okay, so I want you to write this down. Skills may get attention. Trust, communication, and adaptability get people hired. It's just as important. So now, aku mau nanya, gimana sih kalian prepare for interview sampai sekarang, saat ini? Can you tell me in the chat how you prepare for an interview? Maybe, what do you do first? Ini harus ngelakuin ini, juga harus yang di-prepare. Because it's very interesting to know how you prepare and how I can help you, improve how you prepare. Kind of the way I see it, there are 3 things that we want to be preparing for. First of all, the before interview, the during the interview, and the after interview. And please write down your answers in the chat anytime, okay? Anytime. And I'm just explaining as I go through this, karena everything will make sense. Everything will make sense. Dia bilang prepare and ngapalin Q&A. Q&A dari mana? Itu pertanyaan, right? Yeah, that's very good. Prepare and ngapalin Q&A. And that's where I want to break the wall juga. Karena, to be honest, we don't know what we will gonna be asked for. Mungkin generic questions ada ya. And that's okay. That's something that we can prepare. That's why if we think about the preparation, tadi ada yang bilang research company, find user on LinkedIn, sometimes their sosmed, gila, stalking. I like it. Research company's background and preparation. Yeah, basically everything that yang kalian udah tulis di sini, the way I see it, it all falls down to preparation before the interview. Let me explain what I mean. Before the interview, this is my checklist by the way. Before the interview, kita study the company. Yang tadi ada udah bilang ya. Prepare, get to know the company, study the role. Kalau ada juga departemennya, kalau ada info, look it up, stalk, stalk it. Terus understand apa sih problem yang they're trying to solve by hiring. Karena kalau misalnya people hire, that means they need support as well, right? It's not only like, oh, I need to get a job. It's also they need you to do the job. The next one, prepare a concise 1-minute introduction. I will explain this again in the next step. Terus, prepare examples from your experience because you're all here. I'm pretty sure kalian punya banyak pengalaman yang kalian bisa ambil and use it as to relate to the role that you're applying. Use anything, and then prepare questions and notice what you still do not understand. And these two last two itu play a big role in becoming interested into the role. Karena kalau misalnya kita udah kira-kira tahu ini semuanya kayak gini, we only have answers. And in order for conversations to flow, you want to also ask the questions. Jadi kayak, again, what I did was I just research what I know, stalk what I know. Akhir-akhirnya kalau misalnya ada yang masih kurang jelas, that's my question. And that's what I call intelligent question. So what you can do to ask yourself as you were preparing before the interview itu, you can ask your question, what questions could I ask that would show genuine interest? Jadi gimana sih aku nanti bisa contribute kalau udah mulai kerja? Apa yang kalian ngelakuin kalau misalnya ada masalah X atau whatever? Just be genuinely interested in how you can contribute to the group, to the company. Now, the next one is during the interview. Lah, Kak, gimana? Kalau misalnya udah interview, apa yang harus di-prepare saat lagi interview? Well, very good question. Now let me tell you what you can do. During the interview, nafas. Nafas and slow down. Trust me. And that nervosity does not help at all. Just nafas and slow down. Listen carefully. Answer what is being asked. Stay concise. Be interested, not just impressive. Just be interested so that you can let the conversation flow naturally. Participate, ask questions when timing is right, and also connect what you've done, your experience, sama apa yang mereka perluin. I guess the key points that I want you to take in during the interview, you do not need to dominate the conversation. That's not what I want you to do. I just want you to participate in it. Now, going to the after. Now, after the interview, you think your work is done. Whew, let's go, let's party. No, no, no. You're not done. You still have some things to do. First, what you can do is reflect on what went well. Penting banget. Apa yang bagus, yang menurutku bagus tadi. Write down difficult questions yang susah dijawab. Coba cari tahu di mana yang when you say something or answer something, you felt like, oh, that's good. I felt strong. Notice where it felt unclear. And then with all of that, improve your examples and answers for the next one. And this is very important because what I want you to do is I want you to not attach your identity to one interview result. Karena every interview can make you better, even if it does not give you the offer. So that's what I want you to focus on. You're all here in kita semua di Grow at PPI, Departemen Pengembangan Diri, and that's what we want to do as well for every single thing that we do, consciously. And so I want you to write this down. Very important, very concise. Do not assume, ask. So ada pertanyaan nanti. I will get back to the questions as well later. Do not worry. What stays in the chat will get noticed. So, this interesting part. Mau tanya dulu deh. Kalau waktu kalian lagi di interview, how did you guys answer the questions? Kayak misalnya pertama ditanya of course your background, terus ditanya eh, pengalaman, alias background pengalaman sama ya. And then ditanya um, udah pernah punya pengalaman di sini atau enggak? How did you answer those questions actually? Please write in the chat how you did it until now. Karena I also want to share how I actually do it when I'm being asked and how I answer. And basically, it comes down to three: to being brief, relevant, and translated, basically connected to the role. And so, yeah, please tell me how you guys answer your questions until now. Kalau misalnya ditanya sesuatu yang mungkin kayak shocking banget, kayak gila, kok ditanya gitu ya? How did you guys handle it? So as you're writing down, I can get it? Briefly explain, kayak kalau misalnya kita ditanya sesuatu, we want to keep it under 1 minute, especially your introduction. And we don't need to tell them our whole life story. Kita mau kasih tahu mereka the version yang actually connected to the role, right? I guess the structure yang kalian bisa pakai untuk brief itu kayak, who are you now? Ada gak background yang relevant to the role that I can tell? Ada strengths, one or two strengths that are also relevant that can contribute, and why this role interests you specifically. And yang kedua, relevance. Answer for usefulness. Don't answer for ego. I know mungkin semua kebanyakan di sini udah punya pengalaman sangat banyak yang bahkan I got it, I have it all under control, dan mereka pasti hire me because of all my background. Well, answer what is being asked. Answer for usefulness, what it fits to the role. Tie your answer back to the role and be specific. Karena the way I see it, a strong answer helps the interviewers imagine you in the role. They don't need to know what you can do. We only want them to imagine you in the role. And the last one is translated, meaning connected to the role. Don't just describe what you did, what your past experience. Explain why it matters for them, and translate your experience yang udah kalian udah pernah punya into how can I actually use that experience to contribute to this role, to this whole company even. And jadi formulanya, think of your situation or projects, anything that you ever did, what you did, what you learned, and how can it serve this specific role you're applying. Jadi I want you to ask yourself the question, when you describe your past experience, are you only reporting it nih, aku ngelakuin ini aja? Atau kalian connected into the role with values that you can actually contribute. Okay, there's this one question, but I think it's gonna be very interesting. I'm gonna hold that for Q&A. Is that okay, William? Nanti kita bisa jelasin how I actually do
Yes,
that.
no problem.
Now, pernah kalian tadi kalau nggak salah ada juga pertanyaan, Kak, kalau misalnya cuma 20% fulfill requirements masih bisa gak? Well, as I said, yang aku ngelihat my job description of my current job itu ya less at most, and I'm being optimist, at most 50% that I actually fulfill the requirements. Jadi what happens when I like the skill. Soalnya ada juga TOEFL semoga semua kalian ngerti Jerman dikit ya. TOEFL Kreis di Jerman itu bilang kalau misalnya we wanna get a job, we have to have experience, and to have experience, we have to get a job. Like, dude, which one? Nah, so it can happen di mana kita ngerasa we're not enough, kita nggak we were lacking the skills, kita malah nggak usah apply aja. Now, I want you to first, don't panic. And second, don't pretend. And don't collapse your confidence. What you can do is actually to acknowledge it honestly. Oke, aku belum bisa saat ini, dan kalau misalnya kalian ngasih aku waktu ini based on my experience and how I study, how I learn stuff, aku pasti bisa ngelakuin. So, you want to use every single experience that you've already done, mau itu pernah jadi tutor, mau itu ngajar orang, mau itu pernah lomba. You can use every single experience that you use and point it towards you, how you can learn, how you can grow, and so that you can show that ability that you have and have confidence in yourself, in your own growth. Jadi the formula that I would give to you, jadi is first honest acknowledgement, just honestly say if you cannot do something, then yeah, I cannot do it. In my opinion, in my case, aku sekarang lagi programming in a programming language yang aku nggak pernah touch before. Cuman aku punya background in programming. And because I know how I learn, how I can grow, I literally said, yeah, give me 6 months and a proper training, and I will be able to do it. And that's for them is a proof that you can learn, that you have the confidence in moving forward, and that you can actually give them something. So the key takeaway that I want you to get to take from this is that honesty plus confidence is stronger than bluffing. Now, stress. How to handle stress? Pasti banyak lah kalau misalnya kita ngelakuin hal-hal proyek banyak lah, parallel project, deadlines and everything. And also interviewers yang aku tahu, they ask me, how can I handle stress? And how can I act under pressure? And in this case, yang mereka mau cari tahu itu malah soft skills kalian. It's not about the competence anymore. It's the soft skills. It's the human in how we act. And it's not about perfection. It's about maturity. How you handle it. Karena a good answer itu ngasih lihat calm thinking. Like I can actually think even under pressure. And what I would do to handle stress, this is my own personal thing that I do. And by the way, this week ada one person in my company yang ngasih deadline. And for me, I already have a lot of things to do. And this is exactly what I did. First, aku masih kerja, by the way, itu masih jam 2 atau jam 1 even, masih ke jam kerja. After I notice, okay, ini udah agak stressful sih, ditambah deadline ini. First, I step back. I actually close my laptop. I get up, take my key, and actually go outside. I walk for 20 minutes. So I step back. And then as I calm myself down, aku malah ngelihat, okay, what is actually happening? Kayak apa sih permasalahannya saat ini? Kayak kebanyakan pikiran di private life kah, kebanyakan pikiran di itu kah, what's happening actually? I want to assess the issue, and I want to see apa sih yang bisa aku ngelakuin sekarang. And the next one, prioritize. Task mana yang pas aku udah list yang paling gampang dilakuin. Karena if we start from the most difficult one, is still gonna be hard. Jadi you bring back momentum untuk cari, okay, which one is actually important tapi yang gampang. I'm gonna do that first. Write the email, for example. Anything at all. And then you want to communicate it, because we're working as a group in the company. Kita mau communicate. Always communicate it. Be transparent. Do not assume, ask. So if you think your boss will think that way, well, you're assuming. Might as well ask. Jadi, communicate it. And after you communicate dan dapat kesimpulan, okay, itu bagus untuk kita ngelakuin. After you get the go, then act. Actually do it. So that's basically it that I want to share with all of you, and I want to invite Naira untuk yeah, we're going to do a very short demonstration gimana gimana interview bisa jadi gitu. Kayak how can interview become a conversation instead of like a test that you are actually evaluated. Nah, ini aku mau stop screen share dan kita di pin atau bagaimana enaknya?
Mungkin di sini aja nggak apa-apa.
Sini aja.
Stay
Oke,
di sini.
oke.
Iya, betul.
Very
Jadi
good. Nah,
kita udah masuk ke bagian yang seru ya, bagian prakteknya. Kita bakal lihat interview kayak gimana.
yes,
Aku
exactly.
jadi deg-degan juga nih, ternyata jadi interviewer.
Jadi
Oke.
jadi yang kita bakal lakuin, aku minta Naira untuk jadi interviewers. And to make it exciting, aku mau kalian kalau punya ide di chat, taruh di chat. Kira-kira situasi atau job title apa yang aku bisa apply? I'm gonna be the interviewer. Sorry, I'm gonna be the interviewee. Aku bakal apply to Naira's company. I cannot change my background, right? I cannot change my background. I am Aldo. Nah, tapi untuk mungkin ngasih lihat, make it interesting, mungkin kalau mas kalian punya ide atau kalian lagi apply to jobs as well, coba kasih job title mana yang kita bisa pakai untuk yang aku bisa pakai untuk apply to Naira's company. It's gonna be interesting.
Interesting. Biasanya soalnya pertanyaannya hampir sama semua ya, mau di industri manapun. Kalau yang
Exactly,
fisik-fisik.
iya.
Jadi kayaknya kelihatan banget nih fitnya dari mana. Oke, jadi kita bakal ada 3 pertanyaan. Aku mulai aja ya.
Oke, coba sebenarnya ada yang bilang
Ya.
Big Four Deloitte. Bisa kasih tahu gak itu apa?
Oh, si
PwC. Coba
Big Four.
Irna,
Iya, Kak Irna Big Four itu kan kumpulan dari top consulting atau Wirtschaftsprüfungsgesellschaften ya di dunia ini. Kayak jadi Deloitte, PwC, KPMG sama I think apa lagi ya Kak ya?
Wirtschaft ya. Berarti Wirtschaft ke arah kayak consultingnya ke arah mana ini temanya?
More like accounting sih ya, tapi aku jujur kurang tahu banyak soal itu juga.
Oke, it's okay, it's okay. So at least I get the picture karena kamu nggak harus tahu.
Iya,
Kayak nggak harus.
kayaknya
Like,
udah
oke,
kelewatan nih.
accounting. Very good accounting. So ini bakal menarik banget karena it's gonna be an engineer
Hmm,
yang punya background programming yang bakal masuk accounting.
Oke,
Consulting accountants. So it's gonna be interesting. Okay, let's go. Let's try
so
it. Nera.
why not? Okay, so first question nih ya. Could you please tell me a little bit about yourself and about your background, maybe, Aldo?
Oh ya, wait, one more thing. Kita mau pakai German atau mau pakai Inggris?
Maybe gimana enaknya? Jerman dulu atau Inggris aja?
Coba, what's the audience? What does the audience say? Mau pakai full German atau full English? Wow, banyak
Jerman.
English. Satu, German, English, German, English. Tentatif. Oh my gosh. Dua sesi. I don't know if we can do that. Maybe in a Q&A.
Oke.
Gimana, Nera? What do you think?
The English juga fine menurutku ya.
Oke, I will try to answer in itu lah ya, apa in
Oke.
German karena kita kan answer ace interview in Germany.
Ja, alles klar.
Let's try
Dann steige
German.
ich jetzt ein und
Ja.
okay, die erste Frage. Erzählen Sie mir bitte kurz über sich und Ihren beruflichen Hintergrund. So, your background, what have you done, etc.
Okay. Also mein Name ist Renald Gunawan. Ich habe äh, Mechatronik als Bachelor in Hamburg gelernt und dann habe ich weiter studiert, weil ich dachte, mir war nicht so ganz klar, was ich machen könnte. Deswegen wollte ich dann weiterbilden. Dann habe ich eine Automatisierungstechnik auch in Hamburg an der HAW weiter studiert. Und danach konnte ich dann für 5 Jahre lang in einer Robotikfirma, heißt Eka Robotics, gearbeitet und dort habe ich wirklich so viel gelernt, wie man von Vertrieb her und dann dieser ganze Prozess von Vertrieb bis zur Produktion, bis zur Inbetriebnahme des ganzen Fahrzeuges ähm, produziert und abläuft, wie das ganze Prozess abläuft. Und das war richtig, sage ich mal, hilfreich.
Alles klar, das ist schon mal ganz ausführlich und coole Geschichte übrigens. Also, Sie haben sich richtig gut in der Industrie spezialisiert. So you have really specialized yourself really good in this industry. I see that you're probably very passionate about this industry, maybe. So maybe could you please tell me what have motivated you actually to apply for this job? Because I think we are not doing robotics in this job.
Ja, ja, richtig, richtig. Das ist gerade so eine Accounting-Firma, Consulting auch. Und genau die Geschichte ist, was mir tatsächlich fehlte, als ich in Robotics gearbeitet habe. Ich habe so ge das Gefühl, ich war also super tief in Technik, dass ich für die Kommunikation zwischen Menschen, die Consulting-Geschichte, dass mir von meinem eigenen Charakter fehlt und das hat mich dann, wie sage ich mal, verschlechtert zum Beschreiben, was ich eigentlich hinaus wollte, wenn wir in einem Projekt gerade besprechen. Und ich habe diese Stelle herausgefunden, dass das ein Consulting und Accounting ist, weil ich habe momentan keine richtige Erfahrung in Accounting. Das ist mir klar. Was ich hier lernen möchte, ist genau die Geschichte und ich möchte Ihnen auch nach Ihrer Unterstützung beten, weil ich bin Neuling in diesem Bereich. Ich möchte von Ihnen viel lernen und ich bin mir sicher, dass mit der Zeit konnte ich wirklich die, die erforderliche Fähigkeit als Consultant in ein Accounting-Firmen zu arbeiten. Ich bringe alles von meinem Engineering-Hintergrund mit und alle Programmieren. Deswegen die Antwort zu Ihrer Frage, möchte ich wirklich mich selbst weiterbilden. Also nicht mehr ganz spezifisch in einer Fähigkeit in Robotik, sondern auch in andere.
Alles klar. Also Weiterbildung or self-developing
That's
yourself in
true.
your career. Sie haben ja gesagt, ihnen fehlt einfach diese menschliche Beziehungen während den Projekten zum Beispiel. Man kommuniziert ja vielleicht nicht ganz viel miteinander als Engineer. So as an engineer, maybe you don't really always require a lot of people skills to well, do your job, but I think that is the reason why you actually want to change it. Now, I see that it's actually a very good Vorteil, or like it's actually a very big plus point that you could already have that technical knowledge first before you go into the people skills. So you don't actually just consult people with whatever just because you are charming enough or whatsoever. So you have a really solid background, I see, and I think that is a really good thing to know about you. And since you are applying for a new role, I want you to imagine yourself, you're working on a project, right? And something unexpected goes wrong close to a deadline. Maybe someone just got really sick, your boss got really sick, or whatever. The team needs an update and the issue still needs to be solved. Now, how would you usually approach this situation? It's a little bit stressful, I think.
Definitely, yeah. As it will definitely be stressful, and especially this is a new role, like really accounting experience I do not have. That's why what I would do when I am faced with those kinds of situations, I would definitely see, okay, what is happening? What is the situation is all about? How can I break it down so that I can explain it to my mentor or my Vorgesetzter, my boss, my boss, and I will be the one who first analyze what is happening and will because I'm a newbie in this field, right? So I will know what things that I can do already. So I would discuss it with my boss and what can we do to approach this one step at a time so that we can both find a solution needed with the right process so that we can find a better solution together.
I see. So you really emphasize communication, I think.
That's true. That's why I want to ask if that is also possible from your side, if we have that, what do you call it, Offenheit, openness to communicate every single thing. Because I realize my own weakness that I'm still a newbie and I still want to learn a lot from you. So is that gonna be a possibility for us to do in the future?
Of course, that's not a problem for us. We offer a very safe space for you to make mistakes as long as it doesn't really cost actual damage. So why not? You could try and let's see. Yeah,
Thank you.
right. Ya, kira-kira begitu ya simulasinya teman-teman.
Okay, I hope that helps. I hope that helps.
Iya.
Maybe not as what you guys sometimes like think the conversation could go or interview could go, but I assure you, semua yang kita pelajarin ini is actually real. Thank you again, Naira. Nara, the best interviewer over there. It's it's very important for you to understand that interview can go this way. And especially for me, apalagi tadi aku sebagai orang yang nggak pernah kerja di consultant or like consultant and accounting, that mindset of being okay, this is like gonna be a friendly conversation. I want to know if I can be a fit, and we'll see. That's why I'm asking the questions. That's why aku juga kayak when Nara asked me something, I also relate it to what I know, which is the robotics, the engineering. So that is very important. So I want to summarize everything that we go that we already covered. And first is that realize that some interviews are basically like let's face that there are bad interviews, and bad interviews is usually because of bad interviewers. Apa interviewers itu bad communicators. Definitely not Naira, by the way. She was not a bad interviewer, but let me tell you, there are interviewers that are bad communicators. Yang cuman peduli dari technical skills, nggak peduli orang. Ya. And that doesn't mean that you're always the problem. A bad interview itu cuman ngebilangin bahwa wait, maybe this is a bad fit, right? And coba bayangin deh, kalau misalnya communication during the interview aja udah jelek, and then emang you force it, you wanna work in there. Imagine working there every day with that boss. Emang mau? With that energy of interviewing, exactly. So I guess the takeaway that you can take from this is that you also have the right to say no. And interviews are not about pretending. Again, they are not about trying to be perfect. They're about understanding your value, understanding what they need as a company. That juga mau communicate clearly. See, communication comes every single time. You want to ask well, you want to listen well, you want to show that you can contribute. And at the end of the day, we want to see if both sides actually fit. And these are the mindsets that I want you to get into towards your next interview. And again, an interview is not about pretending to be someone else. Itu lebih kayak understanding your value, understanding their needs, again, right? And building enough clarity and confidence to have the right conversation. And sometimes the right outcome is not only that they choose you. Sometimes it's the right outcome itu juga that you recognize they are not the right place for you. So don't go into interviews trying to sound perfect. Go in prepared, curious, honest, and confident. And that is how you answer smart. And that is how you get hired. Thank you so much for listening until this far. Thank you. I appreciate all of you for your participation. We will get to you on your chats if you have questions. Juga ke Slidos. And there is a QR code over there. That's a QR code to my website. So if you want to know gimana kalau misalnya mau kontak lebih lanjut with me personally, you can find it in all the information in the website or follow my social Instagram. And that being said, again, I appreciate you all so much for being here, for giving your time, your precious time. And Naira, the stage is yours again.
Thank you so much Kak Aldo untuk materinya. Menarik banget, seru banget, daging banget. Aku sebagai moderator aja sangat merasa udah banyak belajar. Itu
Oke,
ya, guys.
thank you.
Ini ada QR code-nya Kak Aldo. Mungkin kalau misalnya mau kontak seperti tadi katanya ya, bisa di-scan aja. Dan sekarang kita bisa lanjut aja ke sesi selanjutnya, yaitu sesi tanya jawab kita nih, teman-teman. Em,
Naira mau
apakah,
share?
yap, apakah layar aku udah kelihatan?
Yes, udah masuk nih.
Siap. Kalau gitu kita langsung lanjut aja ya ke pertanyaan yang pertama nih.
Hmm, hmm.
In Indo, is it common to conduct second round of ITV with a user? Is it the same practice in Deutschland? Are there any unspoken rules for ITVs in German culture?
Tadi anonymous ya sayangnya ya. Like, I want to explain, please explain to me what ITV is.
Nah, mungkin bisa dibales di chat ya.
ITV is interview.
TV.
That's it?
Oh,
Okay, I get it. Karena karakter sempit. I see, I see.
oh, I
Interview.
see.
Got it. Thank you for the clarification. In Indo is it common? It is common to, jadi in Germany juga kebanyakan dua interview sih. Jadi interview pertama, kalau nggak salah kemarin Olga juga ada mention, I don't know. Uh, Interview itu biasanya ada dua. Interview pertama itu actually just to get to know each other, like to get to know the character, right fit, right? Is the energy there? Mungkin nggak kita kerjasama. And then interview kedua itu yang malah udah kayak oke, this is the finalized interview yang kalau misalnya udah kejawab biasanya kalau second interview malah ada third interview I heard itu udah kayak ngomongin tentang gaji lah, ngomong kapan kapan kerja lah, udah ngomong tentang nanti ya, perlu apa aja pas lagi onboarding, perlu apa yang harus udah apa yang harus di prepare untuk pas pas memulai. Basically all of that itu yang di second interviews. Jadi um, yes, that's how in Germany is like that. Does that answer the question though? I'm not sure if I understand the question correctly. Okay, unspoken rules interview di German culture. Well,
Tapi sepertinya emang secara umum biasa ya. Kayaknya di Jerman lumayan transparan juga soal interview.
as I said,
Lengkap
conversation,
aja, kayak
interview
yang tadi kan.
conversation, just like that. Ask away.
Iya. Mungkin kita sekarang bisa lanjut ke pertanyaan kedua. In Indo, is it common to conduct second round?
Itu udah kedua tadi. Jadi ada yang
Oh iya,
upvote yang
naik
itu
ya.
tuh.
Sorry. Can you share tips on how to approach impromptu interviews at career fairs? For example, elevator pitches fit for the recruiters.
Oke, approach impromptu interviews. Itu kalau boleh nanya berarti kita yang approach dan kita mau ambil interviews, right? Jadi bukan kita yang jadi interviewer ya kan? If that's if that's the case, elevator pitches fit for the recruiters, aku sih bakal again, I will approach with curiosity. Jadi semua yang kita mau tanya itu is all about curiosity, how I can make the conversation going. And if I were you, if I'm the one who's on the fair, career fair, terus aku mau ada satu one stand yang aku mau ke sana, aku bakal bilang kayak kayak oh no, I'm gonna use it I'm gonna use English by the way. Jadi kayak oh ya by the way ini I see your company is doing ini benarkah kayak yang aku ngerti, I'm actually interested in this kind of topic. What can is there some way that I can talk with you and you explain to me how I can work with you in the future. So the impromptu speech itu lebih ke arah how can I make a connection with this person. Jadi bukan kayak oh I'm looking for jobs, tapi lebih kayak how can I make a connection with this person that I get the contact that I can then send more follow-ups.
Hmm, oke. Jadi kuncinya be interested ya, not only interesting gitu.
Yeah. Be very interested, get the conversation going because at the end of the day, this is people finding people.
Ya, betul. Oke. Ya,
Can
terus.
I first go to apa beberapa questions yang ada di chat dulu?
Oh, ya, bisa, Kak.
Boleh,
Boleh.
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 Tadi ada yang Aduk tadi mau bilang itu, I'm gonna find the one sini dulu deh, dari yang ketemu dulu ya, dari William itu kan mau, karena mungkin boleh di-share perspektif dalam how to keep in professionalism during interview and keep being relaxed, avoiding nervousness at the same time ya. Jadi that mix itu it will show in your character. Nggak mungkin dong kita kayak ngejokes pas lagi interview, right? Well, you can once in a while kalau misalnya emang udah relax banget in environmentnya, then go ahead. It's also okay. Kayak I think my first this interview that I got my job, kita ngomongin tentang, I don't know if it's the first or the second interview. I think it was the first malah. Kita malah ngomongin tentang instrument. Aku main musical instrument. My boss also plays instrument. Kayak I was like, oh, maybe we can form a band or something. Oh no, that happened. Like it's just a conversation, right? So I guess when you can like to stay relaxed itu, you want to you want to approach this kind of interview itu juga sebagai um you want to see, okay, is this the right moment that I can say about my hobbies, is this the right moment that I can say about all of these things, whereas the keeping proper professionalism part itu ya, when you're answering the question that is being asked gitu. Jadi there are specific things that you will be asked, and that's why I said how to answer smart. Make it brief. That's already a professionalism. Make it connected to the role, related to the role, connected. How can you contribute? Itu yang membuat professionalism. And after you've done that, go ahead and be relaxed. And if you wanna be relaxed, in my opinion, ask more questions. Jadi you won't feel like you are the one who's being questioned, tapi kamu juga they ask question, and that helps you relax way more than making jokes, for example.
Oke, semoga sudah terjawab ya rasa penasarannya Kak Benhur.
Ya, thank you.
Oh, bilangnya Ben Hur atau William? Sorry.
Em, ya, kalau Jerman kan Vorname ya biasanya, cuman yang biasa aku dipanggil Ben Hur aja.
Ben Hur, siap.
Oke. Maybe Kak Ray, sorry, Kak Aldo mau masih jawab chat.
Ganti-ganti aja gimana?
Oke.
Yeah, as you ask, and I will find another questions yang
Iya.
ada di chat.
Alright, kita ada 10 menit sih ya waktunya. Jadi mungkin sepertinya masih cukup. I hope. Oke, jadi third question yang di Slido. Kak Ray, boleh diceritakan bagaimana real life working culture-nya di Jerman? How does it affect our mental stability?
Oh man, we gonna need another session for this. Where do I start? Jadi working culture di Jerman, maybe I will say itu reflected upon the malah bahasanya ya. Kan bahasa Jerman kalau misalkan kalian tahu itu agak stiff, kayak very structured. Working culture di Jerman itu juga very very structured. It has lots of like process, norms and everything. Apalagi kalau misalnya kamu udah kerja di bagian yang ada safety relevance itu ya. Itu udah kayak banget 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 mereka itu kayak birokrasinya udah kayak a little bit gitulah. And yang juga sering kejadian itu di Jerman itu banyak expectation juga karena over here orang-orang itu udah punya legal yang udah tercatat gitu, and everyone is expected to also follow those regulation lah, dan that working culture itu yang that this thing just basically relates to expectation ya. Jadi in German working culture banyak ada juga expectations, and if that expectation is not communicated, itu yang bakal affect the mental stability. Karena dulu aku sebagai orang yang masih kerja di company pertama, I cannot say no gitu loh. Ada proyek minta bantuan karena satu orang lagi urlaub. Gitu. Aku ditanya bisa gak kamu bantuin. The thing is when you work in projects, when you say yes, I can help once, you will stay in that project for eternity. Jadi nggak, responsibility-nya bakal stay. That's the hard thing that I had to learn and to say no on some part. Karena because I'm the one who knows my own limits, my own apa Auslastung. I don't know what you call it in English, lupa. Ya, jadi it's important for us to see and protect our own mental stability first, and then respond accordingly. And that's the reason why I actually also got the burnout in the first place, because I said yes every single time. Terus aku di-send ke luar kota berminggu-minggu, and that's just not me. It was tough. Jadi gitu. I hope that helps a little. Uh, Knowing the working culture in Germany, there are expectations, but you can talk it out. That's one of the things that you can use about German people. Mereka direct, and if you direct, kamu bisa direct juga. Perfect. Okay.
Iya. Jadi emang perbedaan budaya sangat bisa bikin shock juga ya di awal-awal.
Hmm, hmm.
Iya.
Nah, terus aku mau menjawab lagi satu dari Irna di chat. Will that be okay if we ask to connect with the recruiters on LinkedIn before the interview? And then ada yang kedua, yang dimaksud interested itu only to the role or both the company too? Well, I I cannot answer the first one karena I've never done that, or I don't use LinkedIn that much. I usually don't. I think it's personal problem. If you want to, it's okay. You have the privilege or the right to actually ask to connect on LinkedIn. Dan bisa jadi connected first. It's also okay. But I've never done that. It's usually the recruiter yang kayak at me. Karena I don't know, is that ego stuff? No idea. I guess I just don't use LinkedIn that much. Nah, yang pertanyaan kedua, yang dimaksud untuk interested, it's everything. Everything that can make the conversation going. Because what you do, kalau misalnya kamu interested, you're actually showing that interest towards that person who's working in the company, which make them feel malah kayak, oh, gila, ini orangnya pas banget, aku suka banget, aku connect, I vibe with this guy, and I want to work with this guy or girl.
I see. Jadi kuncinya kayaknya hari ini benar-benar be interested karena itu yang membuka pintu untuk koneksi ya.
Hmm.
Oke, sekarang pertanyaan selanjutnya di slide. Apa kesalahan terbesar yang dilakukan kandidat ketika mencoba terlihat impresif waktu interview?
Oh, kesalahan terbesar yang dilakukan kandidat ketika mencoba menjawab ekspresif itu, you're not answering the question that is being asked. Jadi kan kalau misalnya ditanya tentang specific thing, ya kau bisa panjang lebar ngasih tahu your whole Lebenslauf dan bagaimana kamu itu keren dan lain-lain. It's just that it's not answering the question that the company or the interviewers are looking for. Jadi this basically, I would call it a waste of time on both sides, I guess. Karena you let your ego took you over, and you don't even answer the question that is being asked. Jadi kayak it's like a lose-lose situation. Malah aku bisa share one part yang aku sekarang deket sama IT department. Aku ada nanya sama the head of IT how they or he goes through with the process of application kan. Dan dia tipe orang yang nggak suka pakai AI karena he wants to see the person. Dan dia ngasih tahu, aku waktu itu pernah ketemu satu orang yang dari requirements itu 100%. It's a very perfect fit. Terus habis itu lanjut ke interview, and it turns out orangnya itu egois. Egois banget, mau menangnya sendiri, and after the interview udah nggak keterima. It's not what he was looking for. He was looking for orang yang bisa bisa kerjasama, yang bisa he can trust to do the work and actually discuss together untuk cari solution that is profitable for everyone. So I hope that answers that question.
I see, thank you Kak Aldo. Apakah masih ada pertanyaan lainnya di chat?
Yes, ada lagi nih kayak apa namanya? Kalau kalau kita nervous, will that affect the interview impression? Hmm, definitely. First of all, it's not only affect interview impression of the interviewers, tapi it also affect us as well, right? Jadi kayak it's I guess I guess I can share with all of you apa yang aku ngelakuin kalau misalnya untuk supaya nggak nervous ya. And this applies to everything, not only untuk presentasi, untuk interview, untuk apalah yang kalian mau ngelakuin. I guess it all comes down to it's not about me. You know? It's not about me. It's about my audience. How can I deliver the best that I can to the audience? Karena if I think that way, aku nggak bakal cari tahu lagi oke apa yang aku bisa ngelakuin itu dan itu nggak bakal affect me karena kalau ngelakuin yang salah karena eh, when I think about the others kayak you in this example aku nggak terlalu peduliin kalau aku ada salah ngomong atau ada eh, salah ngasih I don't know salah salah ngomong salah ngasih sesuatu lah salah ngasih information I don't really think about that jadi that's why I can deliver everything that I possibly can that I prepared for sesuai yang aku udah prepare. So I
Hmm,
don't look inwardly, I look outwards. Itu yang ngebuat aku nggak nervous.
oke. I see. Tipnya bermanfaat banget menurut aku. Iya. Nah, kalau Kak Aldo bisa lihat nih, sekarang
Hmm.
jamnya sudah agak mepet ya.
Ya,
Mungkin masih ada ya 3 menit lagi, dan kita ada 3 pertanyaan. Eh, apakah Kak Aldo siap untuk jawab ini dalam 3 menit, atau mau jawab satu aja gitu?
of course.
Kira-kira.
Go at it, go at it.
Alright. Pertanyaan yang paling atas, apakah
Ya.
interview modern masih merupakan alat yang efektif untuk menemukan talenta terbaik?
Oh, I don't think I understand the question though. Apakah interview
Mungkin,
modern masih merupakan alat yang efektif untuk menemukan talenta terbaik?
mungkin scouting langsung lewat profile LinkedIn atau ya AI gitu kan ya. Aku kurang tahu, mungkin bisa dijelaskan di chat ya nanti. Tapi untuk meantime-nya kita mungkin lanjut ke pertanyaan
Oke,
kedua.
oke. Nanti kalau misalnya mereka maksudnya AI dan and everything, that's I think that's another different topic sih.
Hmm,
Karena kayak kalau misalnya in my opinion, ada company yang pakai AI,
mm-mm.
ada company yang nggak mau pakai AI karena they want to find the perfect fit. Gitu.
Iya, tergantung bedarfnya mereka mungkin.
Hmm,
Dan
hmm,
pertanyaan selanjutnya, aku
hmm,
sudah final interview, tim introduction, dan sempat diberitahu offer letter akan dikirim minggu depan. Tapi akhirnya ditolak. Apakah ini
hmm.
umum di Jerman?
Nggak, nggak sih. Ya kayak biasanya kalau misalnya udah dikasih tahu apa offer letter dan lain-lain, it's very rare untuk di sini di Jerman itu kejadian. Maybe kalau misalnya ada yang punya pengalaman yang ngasih tahu, oke di Jerman juga aku juga pernah digituin. Ya, I'm sorry. First of all, I'm sorry. And second, untuk aku sih itu kayak nggak balik lagi. It's maybe that's not a place that you want to be in. Kalau misalnya tiba-tiba langsung bisa ganti keputusan saat saat kapan aja mereka mau, senak jidat. I
Karena
don't
mereka
think it's
nunjukin
yeah,
sebenarnya itu kejelekan mereka ya untuk nggak beroperasi sesuai kontrak gitu ya.
exactly. Nah itu ya
Itu
itu
red flag juga sebenarnya.
exactly. Ya.
Oke, sip. I'm so sorry to hear that. Untuk soal terakhir nih, akhirnya kita udah lumayan di penghujung. My first round langsung ke user, two bosses, then I was invited to second round with HR. How do I prepare? Because this is quite unusual HR interview in the second phase.
Ah, okay. That is actually a very good very good news for you the way I see it. Kalau misalnya kamu udah ngelewatin two bosses, terus habis itu HR mah cuma mau tahu kapan kali kamu bisa mulai, kapan salarimu dan lain-lain. I think you're in a great place. Like well, maybe kalau misalnya kamu tahu itu cuma sama sama HR aja, again be interested. Nah, just ask around what the conditions and everything yang kamu bisa dapat. Dan iya sih kayak uh, find out kamu mau berapa digaji, kamu bisa mulai kapan, the HR stuff. Nggak tahu kemarin Olga bilang apa aja. That's what you wanna think about. But it's a very good news. Great job, Anonymous. Great job. Well done.
Banget. Iya, betul. Karena HR biasanya emang responsible untuk kapasitas orang yang ada di company aja ya, dan kurang untuk role-nya sebenarnya, tahu aku.
Ya.
Tuh. Oke, I
Nah,
see.
kamu boleh ngasih tahu yang jawab pertanyaan nggak? Soalnya ada pertanyaan di chat, like the last two gitu. Oh,
Oh
actually
iya.
only one. That's good. Yang aku bisa ngelihat. Jadi Kak tanya dong, gimana sih caranya lulus first interview pertama yang fokus ke culture and behavior? Kan nggak ada jawaban benar salah tentang itu. Contohnya gimana menurut tentang leadership? Nah, that's actually a very gimana ya? Again, I would not make it as complicated as you form the question actually. Be interested, be interested, ask questions, let the conversation flow. Jadi kalau misalnya emang nggak cocok, that's it. Yang kamu bisa ngelakuin untuk prepare is exactly that recipe. Study the company, study the role, study how you can contribute, experience mana aja yang kamu bisa bawa, and yeah, jadi it's seeing how can I work when I work with you, how can I work with you, and gimana aku bisa contribute, and how can we both, fit. Jadi it's ask questions until you know punya gambaran nanti pas aku kerja aku ngapain. They don't even ask about technical skills, which is better by the way. Karena aku juga punya teman yang first interview ask about technical skills doang, and that's basically for me it's a no go karena kayak you don't even care about me as a person gitu. Jadi kalau misalnya don't ask about technical skills, ya udah kayak just show off your soft skills, show off how you communicate, show off how interested you are to work with them because maybe karena udah research the company, just let the company know kayak oh aku suka banget dan cocok with my what I want to achieve in the future gitu.
Hmm. Ya, interesting banget ya soal koneksi dan ya fit itu. Soalnya kalau zaman sekarang soal technical skills sebenarnya bisa banget di replace AI gitu ya. Jadi ya mungkin mereka emang lebih mementingkan soft skill kalau zaman
Hmm,
sekarang
hmm.
gitu. Dan ya kayaknya udah nggak ada pertanyaan lagi nih dari peserta. Berarti kita udah di penghujung acara banget ya teman-teman. Makasih banget udah ikut acara ini. Semoga enjoy, semoga dapat manfaat yang banyak dan terima kasih banget juga Kak Aldo udah meluangkan waktu yang sangat precious di weekend ini untuk ikut sebagai speaker. Oh ya, teman-teman, kalau mau post event ini juga bisa banget pakai template kita yang ada di PPI Jerman dan Grow Ad di story untuk di-share. Nanti kalian tag kita aja, bisa banget kita mau banget repost kalian gitu ya. Mungkin tag Kak Aldo juga kalau emang mau ya. Iya, terima
Please,
kasih
please.
banget teman-teman sekalian.
Thank you juga kalian semua yang udah datang. Appreciate you all. Bye bye.
Thank
Bye
you, Kak
bye.
Aldo.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
teman-teman.
Thank you banget
Thank
everyone.
you.